Crickets and circuits and trees, oh my! Welcome to Maker Mondays with Harris County Public Library, and this week we're breaking out the technology. We'll learn how to use a Cricut machine to create a simple circuit light-up tree. You can find written instructions and more for this activity at hcpl.net. Here's what we used for this craft: a Cricut machine, Cricut Design Space software, 2 sheets of green cardstock, brown scrap paper, and other assorted scraps, a glue stick, a CR32 or CR16 battery, a 5mm LED diode, conductive copper foil tape, and clear tape. Here's a tip. You can also do this craft without the Cricut. Here we're using the Cricut to learn new software and make our cutting process easier and more exact. To get started, open up Cricut Design Space and create a new project. Click on the Shapes tool and insert a triangle. In the top toolbar, change the fill color to green. Then click on the lock icon in the bottom left corner of the triangle to unlock proportions. You can now adjust the size and shape of your triangle. Once you position it how you like, click on the duplicate button in the top right. Place this triangle underneath your first one and adjust the size to be a little bit bigger. Duplicate this triangle and place it underneath the previous one. Adjust its size to be even bigger. This will be our tree shape. Insert a square and place it underneath your tree. This will be our trunk. Drag your mouse to highlight all of your shapes. Then go to the Align tool at the top and click Center horizontally. This will make sure our tree is perfectly symmetrical. With all of your shapes still selected, click the Weld button in the bottom right to merge them together. In the top toolbar, you can see the size of your tree. Change the height to 5 inches. Next, click on the Shapes tool and insert a score line. This step is optional and uses a Cricut scoring tool to help us make our folding lines. Adjust the size of your line to be as tall as your tree, then select both your tree and your line. Align them horizontally, then click the Attach button in the bottom right to make sure that they stay together once we move them to our cutting mats. Now use the Duplicate button to create 7 more trees. Next, we will create a brown strip to wrap around our tree trunk. Insert a square shape and resize it to be about as tall as our trunk height. Then extend it long ways about 6 inches. Color this shape brown. Now we can add our ornaments. Feel free to make whatever shapes you want. Here we use some stars in different colors, but keep in mind that whatever color you make your shape will be the color paper you need, and you'll have to load and unload the machine for each color. We'll stick to a variety of shapes and 3 main colors. Also, make sure that they are small enough to fit on your tree. Our design is now complete. It's time to hit the Make It button in the top right corner. This will take us to our cutting mat preview. You can see that each of our different colored objects have their own mat, and our trees are so big that they have 2 mats. On the left side, you can see that we can change our material size. Right now it's set to 12 inch by 12 inch, but that's too big. We need to change this to be a little more accurate. For our green trees, we are using 8.5 by 11 inch paper. Notice how this changes our mat and redistributes our trees. For the ornament colors, we can also change it to the smallest size, though it shouldn't make too much of a difference. The most important thing to note is that all of the designs are going to be close to the top left corner of our mat, so that's where we need to place our paper. Change your remaining colors so that they best match your paper size and hit continue. Now power on your Cricut and make sure it's connected to your computer. Select your paper type. Here we're using a medium cardstock. Next, load your tools. We'll be using the scoring pen and the fine point blade. Follow the instructions in Cricut Design Space and send your job to the Cricut. It will do all of the cutting for us. Just remember to place your paper in the top left corner of your mat and watch it go. Now that we have all of our pieces, it's time to put them together. Take your trees and fold them in half on the score line. Put 2 trees to the side. Take the rest of your trees and glue 2 sides at a time together. Glue one side of one tree, to another, and so on. Leave the sides of the first and last tree unglued. Now take your last 2 trees. Here's where we will make our circuit. A circuit is a complete path around which electricity can flow. Our circuit needs 4 things to work: a power source, which is our battery, 2 paths for an electric current, where we'll use our copper tape, and our light bulb. The battery provides electricity, the copper tape lets the electricity move to and from the light bulb, and our light bulb has both positive and negative ends to make sure the current flows continuously to keep the light bulb powered on. Cut 2 strips of the conductive tape about 4 inches long. Place 1 strip of tape on the right side of one of your trees, from the lower third of the tree to the top point. Do the same on the left side of your other tree. On our right side tree, place your battery face down and tape the edges of it to the tree, leaving the middle section untaped. The copper tape needs to touch the battery to complete our circuit. On the same tree, take your light diode and find the longer wire. This is the positive side, also known as the anode. Tape this side to the copper tape. Now glue these 2 trees to the rest of your trees, making sure the circuit sides are facing each other. Now take the shorter wire on the light diode, also known as the cathode, and carefully tape it to the other set of copper tape. With both the anode and cathode touching the tape, we can now press our 2 tree sides together and the circuit should be complete. Watch your diode light up. Lastly, we can put our finishing touches on the tree. Wrap the brown strip along the base of your tree and glue one end to keep it together. Next, glue on all of your ornaments and you're done. Congratulations on your awesome light-up tree! What will you create next? Let us know by posting to our Facebook page or tagging us on Instagram with the hashtag HCPLMadeIt. And remember to join us every Monday for more maker fun. Until then, Check out your local library for even more book recommendations and inspiration.